This story took place 66 million years ago. Enormous dinosaurs then inhabited every continent. They were the rulers of our planet. The most fearsome and dangerous were the tyrannosaurs. This little one's name is T-Rex, and he dreams of growing up and becoming as strong as his father. But for now, he's still small and loves nothing more than to play. A father and son are heading out for a walk when they hear someone crying in the bushes. The large Tyrannosaurus Rex senses danger and demands that T-Rex follow him. It turns out that several predatory raptors have captured two herbivorous dinosaurs. T-Rex's father rescues them and prepares to engage the raptors. The T-Rex declares himself the king of Green Valley and demands the intruders leave. Hearing this roar, the raptors retreat and promise to behave. T-Rex asks his father why he didn't punish the raptors. His father replies that brute force can't solve everything. One must learn to live in harmony with others. T-Rex sees meteorites falling from the sky and makes a wish. He wants his dad to always be there and protect him. A new day dawns. The T-Rex wakes up and hears his father talking to the pterodactyl young. He stretches sweetly and notices a green lizard in the grass. The baby chases it, but can't catch it. And finally, he falls down the slope. He sees nests with large eggs nearby and sniffs them with interest. A huge female dinosaur with sharp claws appears and chases after the T-Rex, thinking he was trying to steal her eggs. The father rushes to his son's aid and saves the baby from his furious mother. The female dinosaur complains that she was recently attacked by a group of predators who stole some of her eggs. The Tyrannosaurus realizes that these were the raptors and promises to punish them for their bad behavior. Father and son return home, while the mischievous raptors chase another herbivorous dinosaur. They're about to catch it, but T-Rex's father appears on their way. He's incredibly angry, but this time the raptors are much more brazen and laugh at his threats. Meanwhile, the T-Rex spots the lizard and tries to catch it again. He succeeds, but hears his father's furious roar and drops his prey. A fierce fight ensues between the enormous T-Rex and the brazen raptors. The king of the Green Valley defeats his two opponents. Only their leader remains, but he is the strongest. T-Rex runs to find his father and sees the raptor throw him off a huge cliff. The baby screams desperately, and the predators immediately give chase. The T-Rex is saved by the pterodactyl young, who carries him away from this dangerous place. A thunderstorm begins, and Yun collides with another pterodactyl. It drops the T-Rex, and the baby falls to the ground. Our hero comes to and notices a large, brightly colored bird. He can't figure out where he's ended up and calls out for his dad. A predatory raptor appears nearby, and the T-Rex immediately takes off running. The bird shows the baby a place to hide. We learn her name is Sai. The T-Rex realizes he's very hungry. Sai shows him a fruit tree, but the T-Rex needs meat. A little boy approaches a small river and wants to catch some fish for lunch. But he's having no luck. He's even willing to eat the brightly colored mushrooms in the clearing. T-Rex remembers his father's words about them being poisonous, but decides to take a risk and eats one. The little Tyrannosaurus immediately becomes very ill. He comes to and sees Sai again. The poor thing is still very hungry and sniffs around, hoping to find some food. The T-Rex smells meat and spots the carcass of a small dinosaur. A huge, predatory dinosaur immediately appears nearby. The baby runs away in fear and hides behind a rock, hoping the big dinosaur will leave him at least a morsel, but no. Soon, the red dinosaur brings back new prey, and the T-Rex once again looks hopefully at the fresh meat. Taking pity on the baby, the huge dinosaur shares its lunch with him and calls him Reno. The next day, Reno and T-Rex go hunting. Our little hero is clueless and always messes things up, and Reno eventually chases him away. T-Rex decides to hunt on his own, but soon returns to Reno and begs for food again. The red dinosaur lets the baby approach his prey. That evening, T-Rex tells his new friend that he wants to be as strong as his father. Reno promises to help him. The next day, the red dinosaur begins training T-Rex. He teaches the cub to be quick and agile enough to dodge attacks and to leap over rocks to catch his prey. Another task is to fell a tree with his tail. But T-Rex can't do anything at all. That evening, Reno teaches the little one endurance. They have to climb a very high mountain. At one point, the T-Rex falls, rolls down the slope, and miraculously avoids falling off the cliff. He continues on his way and reaches the top, collapsing from exhaustion. This is his first small victory. Over time, T-Rex becomes stronger, more agile, and more resilient. He completes all of Reno's tasks. One day, our hero hears someone laughing and crying. These are those cheeky raptors. They've caught their next prey. It's a baby Brachiosaurus. The baby cries and begs for its mother. The T-Rex rushes to its aid, and the raptors laugh heartily, seeing such a small adversary. Sai warns Reno that his friend is in danger. Raptors are attacking our hero and surrounding him. There's no chance of escape. But at that moment, the enormous Reno appears and easily scatters his rivals in all directions. The frightened raptors immediately flee. Reno praises the little one for his bravery and prepares to eat the Brachiosaurus that T-Rex saved. Our hero asks him not to do this. Reno reminds him that food is food, and it doesn't matter how small or big it is. And he chases the T-Rex away. Our hero leaves with the Brachiosaurus. This little one's name is Leo. He's also very hungry, but it's much easier for him because he's a herbivore, which means he can have fruit for dinner. The T-Rex is in a worse situation because he needs meat. Leo admits he's lost and needs to find his mother. To do that, he needs to follow the North Star. The enraged raptors are out for revenge on the T-Rex. They spot them and Leo on the hill and are glad Reno isn't around. Our heroes spot a herd of Brachiosaurus in the valley. It seems Leo's mother is among them. But at that moment, the brazen raptors appear again. T-Rex and Leo try to escape, but the enemies surround them again. The T-Rex distracts the raptors while Leo runs to her mother. The raptors catch up with the T-Rex and knock him down. The cub loses consciousness. The raptors want to drag him off to their den. However, Reno soon appears there. He wants to save T-Rex, but the mischievous raptors throw huge rocks off the cliff. Reno does everything possible to prevent these rocks from falling on the T-Rex. Meanwhile, the passage is completely blocked. The raptors are very pleased with themselves and are confident that their opponents did not survive. But they're wrong. T-Rex comes to and sees a wounded Reno nearby. The dinosaurs need to get out of here, but their strength isn't enough to move the enormous rocks. Leo's voice comes from behind the rocks. He's brought the Brachiosauruses to remove the rocks and free our heroes. T-Rex thanks his friend for saving him and leaves with Reno. The red dinosaur continues to train T-Rex. He teaches him to fight, even when the opponent is much larger and stronger. It's very difficult. However, our hero doesn't give up and continues to fight, getting better and better each time. T-Rex grows and begins to resemble his father. One day, he notices a fight up ahead. A dinosaur similar to Reno is fighting a Brontosaurus. The predator is victorious and is about to bite through its prey's shell. However, a T-Rex appears and tries to figure out who he is. This dinosaur's name is Loken, and he's from the same tribe as Reno. It turns out Reno is the son of the king of the local valley. He was destined to become the new ruler. However, he renounced his title for his younger brother and left the valley. T-Rex brings Loken to his teacher. However, Reno is not at all happy about the unexpected guest. Loken admits there's trouble in the valley. The dinosaur crew has seized power and demands everyone obey his orders. At first, Reno refuses to return home, but T-Rex manages to convince him otherwise. Early in the morning, our heroes set out on their journey. They are surrounded by a group of predatory dinosaurs. There are too many enemies, and the chances of defeating them are too slim. The opponents are led by the same dinosaur named Crew. He declares that his coronation will take place tomorrow and challenges Reno to a duel. The red dinosaur must lose, otherwise he will never see his brother again. That evening, Reno and T-Rex notice that Loken has gone somewhere and hasn't returned. They search everywhere for their comrade and finally find him. Loken confesses that Crew seized his child and demanded that he make sure Reno doesn't come to their duel. The next day, Crew boasts that Reno got scared and ran away and demands to be recognized as the new king. T-Rex declares he will fight in his friend's stead. Crew orders his lieutenants to attack T-Rex. Our hero defeats them all, despite the enemies being far more numerous. After all, Reno trained him well. Crew himself prepares to join the battle. At that moment, Reno appears in the valley. A brutal, and merciless battle ensues between him and Crew. Both dinosaurs are incredibly powerful, and it's difficult to determine who will emerge victorious. While they fight, They need to rescue the small dinosaurs that have been captured. Sai distracts one of the dinosaurs, T-Rex fights the others, and Locken rescues the captives. The battle between Reno and crew continues. They fight, bite, and knock each other to the ground, but neither one is willing to give in. Eventually, crew realizes he can't win and retreats. Yum the pterodactyl flies into the valley and reports that the Green Valley has been overrun by raptors. T-Rex realizes he needs to return home and tidy things up. He thanks Reno for all the lessons and sets off in the morning. Meanwhile, the raptors are tormenting more dinosaurs. They chase them to the edge of a cliff, but then T-Rex appears. Our little hero has grown considerably, and the predators realize they can't handle him anymore. The raptors beg T-Rex to spare them and promise to behave well in the future. Our hero demands the raptors lead them to their boss. They meet on the very cliff where his father died. A fierce battle ensues between T-Rex and the raptor leader. This is an even more brutal fight than the one between Reno and crew. At first, the T-Rex is losing, but finds the strength to continue the fight. At that moment, a group of raptors appears on the rocks. They declare they've decided to overthrow their boss and launch an attack on him. It seems the predators also want to push him off the cliff. T-Rex is surprised by this turn of events. Moreover, during the battle, it is revealed that his father's death was an accident. The Tyrannosaurus Rex slipped off the edge of a cliff, and the lead raptor tried to save him but failed. Upon learning this, T-Rex decides to aid his enemy and fights alongside him against the traitorous raptors. However, the enemy is too numerous, and they eventually push their leader off a cliff. T-Rex is forced to continue the fight alone. Hatred, anger, and fury help him defeat all his enemies. Now he is the rightful king of the valley.